What's going on with y'all YouTube, man? We back again with another video, and today we'll be diving deeper into just how insane the Western Conference is going to be next year. And y'all know I've alluded to this in the last few videos a lot this offseason, to be honest with you, but in this video we will be talking a little more about it specifically because while I've alluded to it, I don't think y'all really understand how insane the West is going to be, and that's saying a lot considering how insane the West was last year. So, as y'all know, in my opinion, there are four genuine title contenders in the West, and those four teams are OKC, Minnesota, Denver, and Dallas. And I've talked plenty about these teams already, so y'all know how I feel about each of those teams. So I'm not going to spend too much time on that, but a tier below those teams are teams that can be really dangerous come playoff times for those top four teams. Like teams like the Lakers, the Suns, and maybe even a little bit delusionally the Clippers. These are teams that have a lot of veteran and like top end talent with veterans, and they are, when they're playing at their best, all of these teams are a threat for any team because of the top tier veterans that they have on their teams. Like, nobody wants to see a healthy Bron and AD or a healthy Book and KD come playoff time. And even the Clippers, to me, kind of fit in this category because even with the loss of Paul George, they have Kawhi, who when healthy, we've seen what he can do. Last year when Kawhi Leonard was healthy during the regular season, he was an MVP candidate for a really long time. Like he was like a top 5 MVP candidate for like a large part of that season. Like in January, February, March, that type of the part of the season, he was a large, like top 5, top 6-ish MVP candidate for a lot of people because of what he was doing and what the Clippers were doing. Eventually, they ended up falling into the standings a little bit, and then they lost in the first round. Kawhi got hurt. A lot of things happened, whatever. But we know that Kawhi is always a threat when healthy, and the loss of Paul George may actually be a good thing, not for the Clippers as a whole, but for James Harden, because the loss of Paul George means that James Harden will have to share the ball a little bit less, and that might be able to unlock more of what he can do, might be able to unlock more of his ISO ball, more of his playmaking as well, because he won't have to try to spread the ball around, spread the wealth around as much. He'll be able to do what he wants to do, and he'll be able to do what he does best. Now, granted, this is a 98-year-old honey bun eating James Harden, so I'm not expecting a lot, and I'm definitely not saying this team is a contender at all. But what I am saying is if this team gets into the playoffs and assuming they're fully healthy, which is a lot to ask for Kawhi Leonard, I understand that, but assuming they get into the playoffs, I'm saying they will be no team to laugh off, bro. They literally will have less ISO ball this year. They won't have 3 ISO players, which is never, like, you know what I'm saying, that's always a good thing, because why the hell did you have 3 ISO ball players in the first place? But they will also have more depth. They got guys like Derrick Jones Jr., who's going to probably start at that 3 spot yeah, they'll probably leave Kawhi at the 4. He'll probably start at this 3 spot. If not, that's just more depth off the bench either way. But then they have more depth off the bench with guys like Nicholas Batum, Mo Bamba, some other guys. You know, they still have Terrence Mann, and I don't remember who they drafted. Did they draft anyone? I don't remember. I don't even know if they had their own picks. So they probably didn't draft anyone. But yeah, they got some more depth, and please don't get me wrong, I'm not saying Nicholas Batum and Mo Bamba are going to be 6th man of the year candidates or anything. I'm just saying the fact that they have a little more depth than they had last year, that's always a good thing, you know what I'm saying? But moving on, literally if we go to the tier below, the Clippers, we have these teams that, in my opinion, are going to make this last month of basketball like super interesting next year. Now, I understand that's looking very far ahead. That's looking literally like 10 months ahead. I get that. I feel you. But you remember what the last month of this season looked like, the last season that we just had before the playoffs? Do you remember the Rockets versus the Warriors race in the play-in? Do you remember those? It was like Philly, Miami, those races in the play-in and everything like that. It was like the seeding races out east to see would the Bucks get the 2 seed, would the Knicks get the 2 seed, would who were the other teams? I think Orlando was in there. Would they get the 2 seed? Like, there was a lot of teams in there that were or Cleveland was also one of them. Teams that were contending for like those spots. I think the West is going to be like just like that, but even worse this season, because they're going to have 4 teams that I think can be genuinely contending for those top 2, top 3 seeds. But then when you get to the play-in, bro, the teams that'll be making one hell of a battle for these play-in spots, in my opinion, Golden State, Memphis, New Orleans, Sacramento, and Houston. Those are 5 teams that are going to be competing for probably the last 2 or 3 play-in spots, because we know where those teams above them are more than likely going to make the playoffs, assuming everyone stays healthy. You know what I'm saying? Like, 5 teams fighting for 2 to 3, at the best, all 4 play-in spots. That's going to be one hell of a race to watch, bro. Like, the West genuinely has 12 teams that are very good and will be battling for just 10 play-in spots this year, and beyond that, just 8 playoff spots. That is going to be so much fun to watch, bro. Like, last year, we saw how deep the West was, right? It was the first time a conference had ever had 10 teams finish above 500, and then the 11th team, the Houston Rockets, finished at exactly 500, 41-41. And then this year, in my opinion, things will be even more competitive. That's us now. That's assuming Ja doesn't flash a gun again or get hurt again. That's assuming Draymond doesn't punch someone and get suspended for the whole damn season. That's assuming Zion stays healthy. That's assuming Kawhi stays healthy. That's assuming the Rockets can actually build on the foundation that they put in place last year. I get it. It's assuming a lot of things, and I'm living in an idealistic world with this video right now. But, bro, the potential that the West can have next year is actually making me super excited for the regular season for the first time in a while, bro. I haven't been this excited to watch a regular season in the NBA for a while. Like, the regular season has been like last year I was pretty excited for it because I was excited to see the play-in tournament and all that, and I'm excited to see that again this year. I'm excited to see what the jerseys on the courts and everything like that are going to look like. I'm excited to see what changes they're going to make to the All-Star game because I for sure damn hope they make some. I'm excited to see all of these things, right? But beyond that, let's talk about just the West, just what I'm excited to see this year. We're going to get to see if Steph can continue to carry his team to a play-in spot without literally any help, like literally less help than last year now that Klay is gone, which is I thought was impossible, but somehow he has less help than he had last year. We're going to get to see Ja back hooping, and remember, in those few games he played last year when coming back from suspension, but before his injury, he was looking amazing. I was one of the people, before I even had this channel, I was one of the people saying, hey, bro, if Ja can get the Memphis Grizzlies up from what they were at that point, it was like one of the bottom 3 seeds in the West. Like, they might have been the worst seed in the West at the time Ja came back from from suspension. They won like 3 or 4 straight games with Ja there. I was like, bro, if he can get them into the playoffs like a genuine top 6 seed, that'll be an MVP candidate for sure, in my opinion. Now, obviously, he got hurt, and it ended up being a short-lived, like, a week and a half, 2 weeks of him playing. So, that was sad, but we're going to get to see him back playing again this year. We will get to see the Rockets and how Ime Udoka has continued to develop that young core now that he has a full season in Houston under his belt with the potential prospect that is Reed Shepherd. Like, Reed Shepherd is something that a lot of people think can really be something in this league. I'm not so sure about it, but we'll get to see. You know what I'm saying? If those combine numbers are true, he'll at least be a freak athlete. Which will be interesting. You know what I'm saying? Houston has a lot of young pieces, a lot of young potential. Can they go out there and get a guy like KD if the Suns aren't doing what the Suns need to do? You know what I'm saying? Like, we're going to get to see a lot this season. We're going to get to see the Pelicans with DeJounte Murray, and we'll get to see if they make some moves pre-deadline, which, in my opinion, they definitely need to. Chloe and Cole, stop, you beasts. We're going to get to see if Book and KD and the Suns can figure things out, and if not, will one of those guys get moved because they don't have to keep paying all this damn money? Like, we'll get to see that because there was there was rumors this offseason about KD being moved to the Rockets. It didn't end up happening, but there was rumors about it. We're going to get to see if DeMar and the Lord, can I speak English? We're gonna get to see DeMar DeRozan playing for the Kings, and we're gonna get to see if that team will look any better. And remember, they were the 3 seed not last year, but 2 years ago when they lost in the first round in Game 7 at home when Steph Curry dropped 50 on them. We're gonna get to see, hey, can that team be better again? Can that team be one of the top seeds in the West and not lose in the play-in like they did last year? Can we really get to see that? Can they really give some potential contenders a first-round scare come playoff time? Can that happen? We'll get to see that. We will get to see the improvement of teams like OKC, who got better this offseason, Minnesota, who got better this offseason. We'll get to see Klay in a different jersey for the first time in his career. We'll get to see if the Nuggets, in fact, got worse in the way I'm predicting. And even on a lesser note, for teams that aren't contending, we're going to get to see Wemby playing with an actual point guard that should get him the ball when he's open or has a mismatch, which is something that sadly did not happen in his rookie year. Trust me, I remember watching it. I remember the whole damn first month or 2 of the season we were asking, did Wemby's teammates hate him the way that LeBron's teammates did when he first got to Cleveland? And for a long time, it looked like yes, because why the hell wasn't he getting the ball in certain situations? I don't know, but now he has Chris Paul. We'll get to see that. Like, if y'all can't tell, bro, I am excited for this next NBA season. Like, bro, I'm excited for the NFL season. A lot of new players in different phases, bro. Like, we are getting to see a lot of players that we're used to seeing in other places in new places this year. Like Josh Jacobs, he's now on the Packers. We're gonna get to see Derrick Henry on the Ravens. We're gonna get to see Saquon Barkley on the Eagles, and that's just running backs. This rookie class, we're gonna get to see Caleb Williams take the Bears to the playoffs. Like, sports right now, bro, this fall is about to be prime sports, bro. The NBA regular season is about to hit. NFL regular season is about to hit. Hopefully that playoff baseball hits, and I don't even give a damn about baseball, especially because I'm pretty sure the Cardinals have been eliminated from contention or something like that. I don't remember if I saw that or not. Was that a dream? I hope that was a dream. But either way, I don't really give a damn about baseball, especially if the Cardinals aren't playing in the playoffs. But, bro, I'm excited for these next few months of sports that we're about to get come starting in September, bro. Like, it's about to be tough. Tomorrow, well, I don't know what video you're going to get tomorrow. It might be NBA, it might be NFL, I'm not really sure yet, but then I'm going to have to start pre-recording some videos because I'm going to Florida from Thursday to Sunday, just a small little trip, helping some family out. So I'm going to have to pre-record some videos for that and everything like that, but hey, It'll get done. Trust me. It'll get done. I love y'all. I appreciate y'all. Thank you for watching, bro. I hope y'all enjoyed this video. And boy, I hope y'all are excited as me for this NBA season, this NFL season coming up. All right. Love y'all.